welcome to another week of Inside Ball as we count down. We've got the World Club Challenge coming up this weekend. We head to Vegas over the weekend as well.
No, we don't. You do. Well, and those that are going to Vegas.
The big hitters
But
do.
We've also got I elected not to go, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I get a choice, mate.
Hi, Kevin.
See, I get a choice, Ben. They just tell you where to go.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So, and we've also got the Witzer round round three this week of the trials, and some big names coming back too, which we'll talk to in a minute. We also got our mate Peter Badel.
Peter Badel will be
live from
us.
Hull.
Live from Hull. We're looking forward to the great bomber. He's the only travelling media with the Broncos. But let's get to the biggest story of the week, and that is the eligibility laws being changed to give players, some other players, more access to state of origin who don't want to play for obviously Australia. So in the past, if I can dumb this down, Kev, tier 2 countries, you could play origin and then elect to play at a tier 2 nation. Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands, PNG. Those
Fiji.
kind of Fiji. England and New Zealand, if you played for them, you weren't eligible to play origin, providing that you met the criteria of being in this country under the age of 13. That has been lifted. And what it has done is it's opened up some more players. So, for example, AJ Brimson, Keanu Kinney, Jason Tamalolo are all eligible now to play for Queensland.
For Queensland, yeah. The other one for Queensland, Britton Nakora.
Britton Nakora, yeah. So, but for New South Wales, Aidan Fanua-Blake, Victor Radley, Casey McLean, those kind of players are now eligible for New South Wales.
You'd have to say that Fanua-Blake would be, him and Payne Haas would be the front rowers, would you think?
Well, they're in there.
Well, Mitch,
he's the number 2 prop in the game, in my opinion. And Moses Leota's also eligible now as well.
You know what? I like it, Dobbo. It just opens up the best available players to play state of origin football. The rules haven't changed so much as, you've got to be, if you're obviously born in Queensland or New South Wales and where you play your junior football, at the age of 13 in the state you're living in. So if someone comes across from New Zealand and is here by the age of 13, Herbie Farnworth, he missed out by a couple of years. He tried to play state of origin for Queensland. And he came here at the age of 15, so he missed out. But I don't mind the rules. There's been lots of positivity around it all as well. I think the game is going with the modern game. Back in the day, there's always been conjecture around state of origin, who should play for who. So Greg Inglis, and in this format, is he got to play for New South Wales or Queensland?
New South Wales. I struggle to see why you think this is great for the game, and I'll just give you another perspective.
Here we go. We're on for another Barney here.
I just want to give you another perspective, and I accept now that state of origin is not a trial to play for your country.
That's gone.
I accept that. So, and I believe the influx and our game has benefited. Our game has benefited by Polynesian players playing our game and more getting involved. I absolutely agree with that. But there's something about me that you can play for New Zealand, like Kalen Ponga can choose to play for New Zealand now and still play for Queensland.
Yeah,
I get it's better probably for the game.
Yeah, but he's grown up. He's grown up basically, in Queensland, Kalen. He's born in WA, and so New Zealand isn't their home of heritage. They got heritage there, but they weren't sort of born there. Do you know? I can understand why they've relaxed the rules.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you something. Now they've relaxed the rules.
Do I need to sit down?
Sam Walker and Ethan Strange.
Yeah,
they're eligible for England.
Through this,
if this is the way it goes, and this is the new theory, Sam Walker and Ethan Strange are eligible for.
So they can play.
So we've got good
for
young
Queensland
players. Well, they play. Well, Sam will play for Queensland. Ethan Strange is New
South Wales. Yeah,
but both of them are then eligible. So in the World Cup next year, potentially. Now Ethan Strange was in your 20. Yeah, he went with you.
When are these rules kicking in?
Well, they're kicking
now,
in this season.
This year.
You would think England would have, Brimson, Farnworth, Ethan Strange, Sam Walker. Like, I'm just
They're
Dom
quality
Young,
players.
Like,
Have you seen the Australian Kangaroos backline?
I know. Yeah, I get that.
A Reece Walsh. Hello. Do you want me to keep going with the Australian backline?
Well, if you lose Kalen Ponga,
And if Reece Walsh is out, you got Dylan Edwards. If you got James Tedesco. You got a lot of positions. It's. I don't mind it, Dobbo. And if that is the case, I'd be surprised if both of those players opted to play for England.
If they're not selected for the Australian side and there's a World Cup, of course they're going to play
but
for
they
England.
want to play long term for Australia. But Ethan Strange, you see him over there you didn't see him because he didn't get a game over there, but he's a future Kangaroo. So and Sam Walker coming through, he's in that next battle for who's the next long term Australian half.
So
and they're in the mix.
Can I? And I don't know this rule. If you choose to play for England now,
I don't think you can chop and change.
I
don't want
to go back. Like, is that it?
I wouldn't like to see that. We'll have to get that verified, but I'd hate to see that. England won
even in a World Cup. Well, tier twos you can. Tier twos you can. If you're not selected for Australia, which is a tier one, I think you can go and play.
Right.
So, but at some point, is everything going to be on an even playing field? Whether you're Australia, Tonga, Samoa, I understand Cook Islands and Fiji, probably not.
Right.
At some point, you've got to say enough's enough.
Well, out of this year's State of Origin series, have a guess how many players weren't available to be picked for the Kangaroos?
I have no idea.
14. 7 from New South Wales, 7 from Queensland.
And you think that's
Steve
a good
Crichton,
thing?
Brian To'o, Luai, Payne Haas, Spencer Leniu, Stefano Utoikamona. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And for Queensland, Hammer, he didn't play, but he was.
Yeah,
there was talk.
He's gone.
Is he gone? Have you put
He's gone.
Is he gone to Kosamui too?
He's not playing.
Right.
Yet.
Robert Toya, Val Holmes, Josh Papali'i, Nanai. He's already played for. Is it Tonga? Yeah. Kalen Ponga was suggested maybe that he might play for New Zealand, but we'll see about that. And Mo Fotuaika. So there's 14 already out of. That's going to.
You might lose Tino yet.
Yeah. Well,
you might lose Tino.
Yeah. Well.
See,
we might get Payne Haas back.
You think so?
I don't know, but it's all speculation.
You're throwing that one.
I'm throwing back at you. Hey, get back up in your chair a bit higher. Come on. Anyway, I think the rules are good. You disagree.
I don't disagree. I just think that they're. Yeah.
What do you guys think out there? What's the passionate Queenslander?
We took this to the phone at work, and the purists. There's a lot of people fans who are back and still believe that Origin was a
selection
trial for Australia, and that there shouldn't be, and there's nothing proud. And when I heard Brad Thorne talk about how passionate he was for the Kangaroos jersey,
yeah,
and he said he would never play league for New Zealand because he played for that he went and played for the New Zealand All Blacks, which is passionate, and he had the job, but. Look, I just don't understand. It's such a murky area. At least,
it's a bit clearer now.
I think Aiden Vanua-Blake will be like he's going to be unbelievable, mate. Leota, Aiden Vanua-Blake, and Payne Haas. That's like some blokes in the like. Wow,
don't underestimate the. And what have we got this year for Origin? First game in Sydney.
First in Sydney, second in Melbourne, third
one here.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap the series. Well, I can't say that now that I'm the Kangaroos coach. It'll be a great series, won't it, Ben?
You're a Queenslander, Kev.
Mate,
you can actually support Queensland. Come on, mate.
I hope it's a great series and everyone gets through well.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Righto, what else we got, Dobbo?
Let's talk. Obviously. I think we'll start with the World Club Challenge. We caught the World Club Challenge, 5:30 Queensland time, 6:30 New South Wales time is kickoff. Right?
Don't miss it because these games have always got plenty of passion.
Yeah. So I will be opting not to train on Friday morning. Thank you. I won't be doing any exercise on Friday morning because I know this is ahead.
Yeah.
What I would say to everybody is that this game will be a lot closer, but. There's only one lone wolf travelling media from Australia who's decided to make the 15,000-kilometre journey over there. His name is Peter Badel, and we caught up with him a little earlier for our Inside Ball podcast. Well, live from Hull, ahead of the World Club Challenge, he's the chief league writer for the Courier Mail. Love him or hate him, his name is Peter Badel, and he joins us from his hotel ahead of this game. Bomber, good morning to you. We are obviously back in Australia. How is Hull? And thanks so much for being with us on Inside Ball.
That's all right, Dobbo. I was just about to go to bed, and have a good time here. But no, you've woken me up, so no, I'm staying up. It's a bit chilly, boys. It was -3 today, so that was a bit foreign to us Queenslanders.
Well, through the whole day, Pete. Through the whole day, -3 all day.
Yeah, it was in most of the day, and then it got a bit warmer, obviously, later in the day. It was about sort of 0, 1, 2 degrees, but started off at -3, Kev. So us Queenslanders, we're not used to this weather, mate.
And what are they predicting for the game on Thursday night, your time?
Yeah.
What's the conditions going to be like, Pete?
Oh, I've looked at the forecast, Kevin. It's been single digits. They're talking about 1 or 2 degrees. So, and I spoke to a few of the locals who reckon, it's an outdoor press box too, believe it or not. Apparently the Pommies don't like indoor press boxes. So I'm going to have to rug up, boys. It's going to be a cold one.
Bomber, you're the only travelling journalist from Australia with the Broncos. Give us an insight into their preparation and what this week's looked like. I mean, I know they got the private jet from London.
What about that? Private jet.
Bomber has to get a 5-hour train trip. The Broncos get the private jet. But what's the preparation been like, and what should we expect from this Broncos side in the World Club Challenge?
Yeah, they only beat me to the hotel by 30 minutes too, and I took 3 trains. Fair dinkum. They got too much money, the Broncos. But no, in terms of prep, I got to say, boys, I know Kevie played in the World Club Challenge in '92 from memory, but their prep's been great. I mean, they've had 2 really good opposed sessions. One against London Broncos in London, then they came to Hull and they had a hit out with Hull FC yesterday. And great John Cartwright, Kevie's good mate, in charge. They're doing a good job. So, but they've been really good hit outs. I've got to say, guys. Reece Walsh on Monday against the London Broncos, he just blew me away. I mean, even Jason Demetriou, who's coaching the London Broncos, came up after me at the session and said, how good is Reece Walsh? Like, he just tore him apart even at training. He just does things that are so special. So I reckon he could rip and tear this Robins team on Thursday night, Friday morning Australian time.
Yeah, well, they've been under a bit of pressure, the Robins, haven't they? Because they were beaten last start by a team that's just come into the competition, York, who've just joined the Super League this year. So it's not best preparations, but it also would sharpen up the English players' minds and their club. I know I was speaking to Willie Peters through the week, and whilst he's disappointed with the loss, last week, they're very much looking forward to taking on this Broncos outfit.
Yeah, they are, Kevin. Funny you mentioned Willie Peters. I actually had a coffee with him this morning just to catch up, and he was pretty shattered with that performance. I mean, losing to York, newly promoted team, very flat performance. And on that performance, Kev, the Broncos could win by 30 or 40, but I don't think I think it'll be tighter than this. So I think they'll be up for this whole KR. And look, I got to say, looking at some of the formations from the Broncos, it's going to be interesting because they've been doing some interchanges, but Ben Hunt may start off the bench. Just watching their training, Jack Gazewski's been on the left edge in the back row there, and I've seen Pakesy and Honey doing some switcheroos there at dummy half. So I wouldn't be surprised if Corey Pakes is a late starter at hooker.
Right, okay, which would push Ben Hunt onto the interchange. Any other surprises with their bench? What's their bench makeup? I mean, the side's pretty much picks itself, but the bench is one that's probably where the most drama is going to be.
Yeah, Kev, well, they've named a 20-man touring party, and I can tell you that Orblix Tafar, the Dolphins recruit, he'll be starting off the bench, so he makes his Broncos senior debut, so great news for him. He's a real hit man there in the back row / middle. And then they've also got Ben Tolte and Xavier Willison on interchange. So the pretty strong pack. And, of course, Payne Haas, Corey Jensen will start at prop. So, look, it's a formidable team from the Broncos, and you'd like to think if they're on, they win this trophy.
Bomber, have they had any downtime? I mean, you're staying in the same hotel. Are they getting a little bit of downtime, or is this very much just a hit mission? We get in, we get it done, and we're out of here?
Yeah, it's a good question, Dobbo. So they have had downtime. Yeah, they've been playing a bit of golf. Surprise, surprise, Dobbo,
Yeah,
your
they're staying
favourite
on a golf
pastime.
course, Dobbo.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Come
mate
on.
Renault trying to hit a hole in one, Dobbo. But I know they had a bit of downtime in London. They went sightseeing, but then part of the reason they came here to Hull earlier was to bunker down. And Madge has taken this seriously. He's not mucking around. I saw him just tonight at dinner, and he was saying, "I'm up for this. Like we're not coming home empty-handed." So if Hull KR think this is going to be a vacation for the Broncos, it's nothing like the sort. They're ready for this. They're switched on.
Can I just ask you the vibe in Hull, the locals? Is that because it's I don't know Hull at all, Kevin. You know
I've been to Hull, yeah.
They tell me it's a hard-working town, very much. Like it's built off the back of tough, uncompromising. Is it a big story that there is a World Club Challenge there, and that the Broncos, this glitter club, are in Hull?
Oh, absolutely, Dobbo. Like I got into the cab to get to the hotel, and I mentioned to the bloke, I'm from Australia, and he said, "Oh, are you here for the game, for the football game with the Broncos?" So the locals are talking about it. Absolutely, the British media's they're relishing this. They've really lapped up Reece Walsh. They've done interviews with Ben Hunt, Pat Carrigan, Adam Reynolds. So there's been a real good feel about it. And Kevy would know this, having played Wigan here 30 years ago. There's a great affinity for great NRL teams, and the British fans still love the sporting teams here. They love the Broncos. So there's definitely been a real feel, and there's a real excitement around this stadium. 25,000 people, guys, will be at MKM Stadium on Thursday night. So it's already a sellout.
Yeah, Pete, it's not Hull KR's home stadium, is it? It's Hull FC's, and they're fierce rivals in Hull. But their stadium isn't big enough. Hull KR Stadium,
It's not big enough
only
for
like
it.
15,000 or something, and corporate seats and that aren't as great. So they've moved it to the bigger stadium. It's a rugby league town, Hull City. Yeah, that's mad. They got obviously a football team there, as in the round ball, but it is rugby league crazy, and they're dyed in the wool fans and supporters as well. So I'm sure there'll be not only a lot of Hull KR fans, but also general rugby league fans going to watch Reece Walsh, Payne Haas, Pat Carrigan, Katoni Staggs, all these guys. I know how popular they are from the recent Kangaroo Tour, and Reece Walsh in particular, he just takes the world by storm. So if he can get his act together and his game on, the Broncos could have a comfortable win. But I know, playing in these games, and I've also was over there at the Melbourne Storm in 2013 for the World Club Challenge against Leeds. They won't roll over the English sides. They will be tough, and it's different conditions, much colder. And we had Goody on the podcast not long ago telling us how difficult it is playing in England when it starts to get cold and the rain starts coming down sideways at you. All you want to do is get the hell out of there and get home.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've had some time to acclimatise. Bomber, can I ask you this? Payne Haas, has anybody spoken to him? Has he spoken to any media over there? I mean, it's the biggest story at the Broncos at the moment. I haven't seen an exclusive. Have you, Kevy, from the Courier Mail, Chief League Writer? There's been no Payne Haas exclusive yet. But, I mean, I'm sure it could come. Mate. I think after the game in the sheds, Bomber will strike. But has he spoken to anybody?
Well, boys, I saw Katoni hiding behind the bushes before, screaming, "Hey, Bomber, he wants a yarn with Payne Haas. Get him, Payne Haas." I've been trying, boys, but no, they've kept him well shielded, the Broncos media department. But I'm told, look, he's been taking part in all the training sessions. I saw him have a hit of golf today with Aublix Tafa, so he is around, obviously, Payne. But, he did that video with the Broncos earlier in the week to sort of address how he feels. But obviously, in the fullness of time, I'm sure he'll do something more substantial. But as of now, he hasn't.
And finally, Pete, what about the whole KR side? What can we expect? What can you tell us about them? Have you been to some of their sessions and you've got an insight with the coach? What's the game plan, mate? Has he given you anything?
Yeah, well, good question, Kev. Look, I had 2 hours with Willie this morning, and he said to me two things that really struck me. One was, he said, "Pete, look, we know the first 20, we've got to rip in. Like, we've got to roughen them up. We can't let them get into their game. We can't let them get any rhythm." So he's also wary of Reece Walsh because he worked with him, Kev, as you know, Willie, as your assistant during the Ashes. And one thing he said to me about Reece was, He said, I was blown away by just how dedicated and how much of a perfectionist he is. He said, I didn't realise it because you hear all these things about Reece being a rock star and you think he's
Well, he
carefree.
is. He's a rock star.
He is. But he also said how
Quite a good
dedicated he
player.
was. He is. And he said he
Yeah.
was blown away by how switched on he gets. And he just said he was blown away by how much he wants to win. And so he's wary that if Reece wants this game, he could tear them apart. So that'll be the decisive factor, how they nullify Reece Walsh.
Yeah, well, that's every team in the world is trying to sort that out with Reece, and the last 6 weeks of the NRL Premiership indicates that the NRL teams find it hard. So that's going to be a tough assignment for Hull. But the conditions, the crowd, the referee, the slow the game down won't suit the Broncos style. So they won't have it all their own way, but I expect them to win. Dobbo, what about you?
Yeah, I think Brisbane win. I think they win it comfortably. I think. But anyway, Bomber, we look forward to it. We appreciate you staying up for us, mate. Thank you for being with us. Chief League Writer for the Courier Mail, Peter Badel.
Yeah, go and get some shut-eye, Pete.
Good on you, mate.
I might hit the town now. Kev, what do you reckon? There's plenty to do at Hull at midnight.
Nothing good happens in Hull after midnight, mate.
One dog, one bone, Bomber. One dog, one bone, mate.
See you, mate.
See you, boys. Love your work.
See you.
Thanks.
Right. Well, how good was Bomber?
They need to get some sleep, mate.
Yeah.
They'll have captain's run
tomorrow morning.
In their morning, so our tonight, and then the game will be early Friday morning here.
The mail is that they're training at 8:30 in the morning. It's still dark, and the reason that they're doing that is probably because, get used to that, cold, dark weather. But anyway.
The stadium they're playing at, I've actually been there when I was coaching the Frenchies, Catalan. It's a good one of those tight stadiums where you virtually sit on the ground. So the Aussies and the Broncos boys will know that they're in foreign territory, I can tell you.
I'm looking forward to that.
Right. We both think Brisbane will win that one, though, don't we?
Do we both agree? Do we both agree Brisbane to win?
Yeah, I think so. But they won't have it all their own way, right? It's going to be a tough old night.
On this, a little wager? Brisbane by 30.
Righto. Well, I don't disagree with that.
Brisbane will win by 30.
Yeah.
And you know what? And then Hull KR have got to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're going to go to Vegas, and they're the game one of the.
They're playing Leeds there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you're going on Saturday.
I'm flying out on Saturday.
So this is your last podcast before you head off to the US.
Well, just like you, that comes in from afar when you were over in England, I'll be joining the podcast. I won't have the wine bottles loitering around the laptop like you.
They were Narelle's, mate.
Okay. Anyway, that's another day for another photo. Let's talk about it. You covered the Dolphins last week. How good was it to see Tommy Flegler back?
It was great. Really good. Caught up with him before the game as well. He was very nervous, as you would be.
Yeah.
He hasn't played for, 600 and something days. So, but I saw enough last week to suggest that he'll be back. Now, he's off the bench again this week for the Dolphins, which is good. They'll just ease him into it, take him the sting out of the game and then bring him on. I suspect that might happen with him for the first month, even in the NRL, when they start playing the competition, because he has been out for a long time. But, gee, I love his competitive. And he's one of those guys when you look around the dressing room and you think, thank the Lord that Tom Flegler's on our side. He just did some things there that were pretty special and only Flegg could do. So I'm really happy for him. The Warriors have got a couple of big names out, though, Dobbo, still, haven't they?
Yeah, well, Tamari Martin's gone for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
He's gone 12 weeks with an injury.
And no Fisher Harris, no Mitch Barnett or Luke Metcalf.
Well, Fisher Harris played in the All-Stars game
so
last
he's just
weekend,
rested.
and he played a heap of minutes. Played at 13, which I thought, and mate, his ball, he moved the ball around.
Pass the ball
he
well,
passed the ball. He played very, very well.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to rest him and just get him right for round one. He's
I
a
think
bit
that's
banged up.
smart.
He played a lot of minutes. That's all you
that
need to give
game's
him.
got good intensity too. Always has,
really
the
was.
All-Stars game. So it was good. I don't mind that. But the halves, so with no Tamare Martin, what's up with the other?
Tanner Boyd. But I think you might see Jet Cleary get a bit, closer.
Bit of action there too, eh?
Yeah, like I know they're starting with Hanson and Tanner Boyd in the halves. Metcalf, Barnett, and Fisher Harris not there.
They'll be back in some time, right? They need to start this game well, the Warriors, because they last start losers, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it's only a trial, I get it, but the Dolphins are very formidable opposition with the side that they've picked. Trey Fuller in the number 1 jumper. No hammer this week. He's still got is that a shoulder or a knee or something with the hammer?
Yeah.
Should be back for round 1. Selwyn Cobbo's playing on the wing this week. Did you see the photo I put up of Selwyn?
Yeah, I did. I liked it.
He came over to me, Selwyn.
Did he?
He walked across the field.
To say good day.
And he come up behind me and tapped me. I thought, I wonder who this is. And
Sally.
Big Sell, yeah.
Mate, hats off to you on the social media. You've been outstanding on the social media. Like, give Kevie Walters a follow on Instagram. Very strong on the gram the last week.
Well, I'm just
someone
trying.
Someone put a rocket up you about that.
Someone has.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone has, right?
You know who you are.
I know who I am, mate. Like Herbie Farnworth's back. Snyder's in the 9 this week for the Dolphins because they got to find the 9, haven't they?
Yeah, well, look, obviously, Marshall King's out for the first 4 weeks.
Yep.
They've taught maybe Donahue might play there. I said in the call the other day that I thought Trey Fuller might be the fullback and they'll play the hammer in the centres to start off with.
Is that going to happen?
There's still some decisions, and you think about it. Cobbo will definitely be on the wing, and Azarko will be a wing. Yep. Now either Hammer plays fullback, and then in the centres, if Avarillo and Farnworth are right, and then obviously Izzy Kardara and Nicarima, very strong back line. Now then you say, well, is Schneider the 9, right? Or do you play Kurt Donahue at 9? Schneider, my mail is, will either be 9 or 14, which could leave Trey, unbelievable, could potentially leave Trey Fuller.
Oh, he'll be in the 17, Fuller. You can't leave him out, mate.
I agree with that. But talking to somebody close to the club yesterday,
right,
there is the distinct possibility that maybe Fuller might not be there for round 1 because unless they play Schneider at 9, he's been a really handy acquisition, and I think that's because of Marshall King. I think
he's played there for Penrith, hasn't he? Schneider.
Plath, you would say Plath would be your 9 if
he's not available, is he?
Yeah, he's still coming back. Round 6 they're talking about. So it's a good problem to have. It's a very good. They are really stacked, the Dolphins.
And Tom Gilbert looks like he's going to wear that 10 jumper for a while, rather than playing on the edge.
Well,
he looks big too and fit and ready to go.
When you've got front rowers, Saifidi, Flegler, Gilbert, right, Francis Molo, right. Then you've got
they got good depth.
Then you've got Morgan Knowles. Then you go to the edges. You got the junkyard dog in Donahue, and then you've got Fini Fuiaki, Connolly Lemuelu. They've got a pack.
Yeah, it's a good side.
You've got to put Plath in there still. You've still got, and you've got Schneider and Treyful. Like, they have got weapons everywhere. You've got what's his name? Bostock still to come back.
Yeah. I'm working hard to try and get Jack on the show, but
I saw Herbie on Saturday. I said, mate, you got to come on the show.
He backpedaled, didn't he?
No, he said, yeah, I'll come on there. I'm still hurting from Kevie giving us a touch-up. He said, let me get through a couple of rounds and I'll come on. I said, I'm going to hold you to that. Walking James Street hand in hand with his partner. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. Oh, Herbie. Anyway. So
there'll be lots of young... Cut that out, Darcy. Yeah. This is a rugby league show,
Tigers,
right?
Panthers, Jareen Buller,
Dewey and Luai in the half. So that,
I like it.
Yeah, I heard Benji talking about that the other day.
Yeah,
that Dewey's going to start in the 7.
Yeah,
provided he gets through this game, and Luai at 6, which is interesting. I like Dewey. He's underestimated, Dobbo.
Adam Dewey is a very good footballer.
He comes up with the big plays.
And a good bloke.
Terrific fella, is he?
Good bloke. Really good bloke.
Right, and he's a Tigers junior too, so that's good. But the big names are back for the Panthers, aren't they? Yeah. Look at the list of them
Edwards, Cleary, Yo, Lindsay Smith, Moses Leota.
No Liam Martin, though.
No Liam Martin.
They rested him. I think he'd be right for round 1.
Mate,
that's what they're saying.
Mate, you put him in there. So that's then Saturday.
I'm covering all this on Fox on Friday night at Leichhardt Oval, those games. On Saturday, I'm going up to Gosford too for these couple, Dobbo. They've got me working hard, the Fox people. Sharks and the Raiders at Gosford. What's happened to the Raiders halves? Ethan Strange not playing. Your mate Ricky, have you got any mail why he's not playing in the trial?
Well, I just think that they're resting him.
Right. Well, this is their last trial before round 1.
It'll be okay.
He won't play a trial.
It'll be all right. It'll be all
right. And
Blake Brayley versus Jake Brayley, Aiden Fanua-Blake, brothers taking on brothers, been very, very good, but I still think Tom Starling will start.
At 9, yeah.
At 9. From all reports, Brayley has been unbelievable down at Canberra.
If there's anything like his brother,
really,
Blake,
really good.
Blake was on the Kangaroo Tour, mate, and what a great person and player.
Yeah.
You know, and he just keeps working on his craft so well. So that's good. That'll be a big game, that one. Sharks up against the Raiders. Xavier Savage back as well for all the Raiders fans.
That's good.
He missed a chunk of the back end of the season.
He was a big loss.
Dane Laurie's the fullback. He's going to be in the 17, Dane Laurie. He'll be in the 17.
Okay.
He might even be number 7.
I don't think so.
Well,
I think Sanders will be your 7.
What's wrong with Sanders? Why isn't he playing this week?
Well, he's just come back, but Kobe Black's also there as well.
Yeah.
He's just got over a nerve damage injury, and they're loving him down there at the moment.
Right.
All right, Roosters Eels. DCE Sam Walker.
Oh, Tedesco fullback.
Mate,
Reece Robson at 9. That's a pretty good spine. That's up there. Where did I rank? I think I had them 3rd, didn't I? When I did my spine rankings.
Yeah.
Storm, Brisbane. There's nothing between those 3 spines.
They're going to be
and
very,
Penrith
very
as well.
They're going to be very, very good.
Right. Do you reckon they can win the premiership, the Roosters?
Oh, I think they're a top 4 side.
Yeah.
And then I think that they're going like if they can get it right.
Well, DCE is a big key there. If he can just calm the farm and get it,
Sam Walker is loving DCE. My male, Sam Walker, absolutely loving having.
As long as he lets him play,
he's doing that. He's been unbelievable.
He's got to, and don't try and control him, because Sam doesn't like to. The way he plays, he doesn't like to be controlled. He just likes to play what's in front of him. He scored 16 try assists in 9 games.
Yeah, he's
or 8 games, whatever he played last year.
You know, his younger brother Tyson made his debut for the Cowboys last week in the trial.
Oh, the Cowboys did he?
Yeah. So he played last week. So
righto.
Good on you, Tyson. Well, we played up there. Well done. And played his first game, and the whole family went up and watched him. So
righto. That's cool.
Ben's obviously coaching the Toowoomba
Toowoomba
Clyde.
side.
So he didn't see their first trial. He went up there, so that's good.
So in the halves, Dobbo, for this game, we got DCE and Sam Walker up against Mitchell Moses and Jonah Pezzett.
Well, that's the halves combination.
Pezzett was good last week in the trial. I don't know if you saw Parramatta.
Just get through the year, Jonah. Just get through the year. That's all we want, because you're a Bronco next year, brother. And so just have a good year.
He needs to have a good year for the Eels, mate.
Have a good year injury-free, mate, because we want you for the Bronkies.
Right. Also on Saturday, right? Saturday night, Storm Tigers. Titans, sorry. That's at the Sunshine Coast. You going up for that? No, you'll be on the plane to Vegas. What time are you leaving, by the way?
7 o'clock Saturday night.
PM?
Yeah.
Or it's a good time to fly.
Can I give you what the Titans round 1 halves will be? Little birdie. It'll be Campbell and Brimson.
Yeah.
They'll be the halves.
Yeah, I expect
that. That's the halves, and Kinney at fullback. That's my male.
And Verrills at 9?
Verrills at 9. So they've locked in what that is, which I don't necessarily. I thought Lachlan Ilias. I thought they should have given Lachlan Ilias.
He was pretty impressive last week up at
I thought Ilias
the Dolphins.
should be the 7. Brimson is a good footballer, no question about it, but I'd play him in the centres. I really would.
Well, I think they got their centres sorted there, haven't they?
Wow.
From what I'm reading and seeing, Fa'alongo's back for the Storm. Look out for that.
Have to be the fullback.
He's fullback, yeah. Munster is in, and Wishart in the halves. No Jerome Hughes.
Jerome Hughes eligible for Queensland.
Yeah, what about
Jerome
that,
Hughes is, so you could have Munster and Hughes in the halves.
You're not going to leave Tom Dearden out there, mate.
I know, but I'm just saying, providing, there's another one eligible.
And Mudgee on Sunday rounds off the pre-season stuff with the Rabbitohs. What about their side? Do you see it?
Yeah, they're a very good side. Very, very good side. They're going to get better and better. Geez, Latrell looks fit. At the moment.
I saw him because they were all sitting in the stand. I got a photo, which I'm going to put up, with Wayne on the weekend up in the stand, which I didn't put up. I'll get that one up. But they were all sitting with Wayne watching the trial last weekend against the Dragons, and Dave Fafita came over. I tried to get him on, but he didn't want to come on. Mate, he looks ready to go. Big smile on his face. Latrell was there, big smile.
How was Dave? You would have talked to him.
Yeah.
Is he loving it?
Settled well, yeah. He said he's enjoying living in Sydney. He was a bit, but he likes it. He loves being at that club with all those blokes, that left edge for South.
Oh my God.
Woof.
They are stacked. They're another one if they get it right and can be injury-free.
Well, we're going to give some tips in our next show, aren't we, on
who we think.
And some smokies and the like. South are on the lips of everyone, especially with the guys that they got coming back in.
They're either a top 4 side or a bottom 4 side. There's no middle with them.
Well, I just can't afford to get injuries, Dobbo.
Yeah.
Right? That's what. And like all teams, they need their big players there weekly. Manly.
I saw Jamal Fogarty play in the All-Stars, but there's that young halfback, Joey Walsh.
Joey Walsh went okay in the trial, yeah.
Very good footballer. Now, I don't know, obviously, with Brooks and obviously Fogarty there, that's your go-to halves.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they've got Travojevic and Kohler, and there's a lot of
None of the
there.
Travojevics are playing this week, are they? Maybe Ben is, but the other two...
But they'll be right. I mean, yeah. So, off the trial form, can I ask you this honestly? How much do you take from trials?
You don't take anything from trials, Dobbo, except for the individuals will get something out of it. They get a hit out. South might get a bit. Some of those teams that struggle.
Well, that's the one that I want to talk about. Like, I thought St George, who are going obviously on the plane this weekend to Vegas, now they take on the Bulldogs in week one, round one. That's the second game in Vegas. They, to me, were the most disappointing.
They were. That's clearly across the rugby league world.
Yeah. I thought St George, off the back of that, were like, wow. And I thought Newcastle were as well. Both sides are going to Vegas. I thought Newcastle would have put on a better show. And look, that's probably why you can't take trial form into it.
No.
But the cohesion at the moment just didn't seem to me like, okay. Now, Newcastle, if you look at their side, they've got some talent. They are really...
Well, Ponga didn't play, did he? And he's a big key to them. He'll be playing in round one, Vegas, will he?
Yeah.
But you know yourself, Dobbo, like these guys, you got Vegas, it's in your mind, mate.
Yeah.
Certainly. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a let out of jail there for their performance because they all want to be on the plane. Vegas is exciting, mate. If you're a player and you're going to be running out on that stadium in Vegas, it's a great stadium. And how good's the stadium?
Unbelievable. Allegiant is just phenomenal.
And how good's the Vegas? Like, to be honest, it's an amazing trip, right?
It's a great trip. And if you're a player going over there...
Yeah. You want to be there and you want to be on the field.
Yeah.
It's a full stadium. They light it up. It's a great atmosphere. So that would be in their mind. So let's give them a little pass for that weekend of footy. And let's see what they got in Vegas. But they do need to sharpen up their pencils, that's for sure.
No question about that.
Right. You're not here next week.
No.
We get you down the line.
No, I'm not. But, it's been a pretty fair week in rugby league. We're a week away from the Telstra Premiership kicking off. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
We will get back to our regular three once the season's kicking on.
Yep.
But next Thursday is obviously a big preview round before that. And I'll come to you from Vegas. And we have a bit of a special guest who's helping us out for the next couple of weeks.
Well, just for the week when you're away.
Yeah.
Right. Billy Walters is going to join us on the show, which will be good. He'll be sitting in your seat, warming it for when you get back, mate.
Please respect him. Please refer to him as his real name. Just something Billy Walters. The difference is joining us. The difference is back. The difference who's just been flying under the radar. You know what? There's only one difference, and that's Bill Walters. But we have got a new segment. And we've got a major sponsor coming on.
Yeah, it's all very exciting, mate. We'll break that news
next week.
Next week.
They know who they are. Nay. Anyway, just wait. That's happening. Have a great week. Kev, going very well in the commentary. And, mate, give Kevin Walters a follow on the gram. I mean, he did get a rocket from the Minister for Finance and Defence. And you know what? He's been very strong on the gram. Kevin Walters 1, I think your Instagram tag is.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you.
What is it? Well, we better
what is
get
it? Producer Das. Kevin Walters 6, yeah.
I thought it was 1.
Get on, mate. We want people following
Inside Ball. Follow us on Inside Ball. Follow Kevin Walters 6, Ben Dobbin, whatever you want to do, but Inside Ball. But have a great week. Viva Las Vegas, and we'll talk to you next week. See you later.
See you later, folks.